John Paul II. He stated that hell was not a place, but the state of those who freely and definitively separate themselves from God. Still, many both inside and outside Christendom believe that hell is a place where wicked are eternally thrown into, and they're tormented by fire, and it's overruled by demons and other creatures. Those who subscribe to such a belief, they may serve God out of a morbid fear. It's scary. But is there another understanding of it? Because we would rather serve God out of love. God says that He draws us to Him. And to be quite honest, a fiery hell doesn't really draw you. So we're going to discuss three basic questions. We're going to answer three questions. What is the condition of the dead? What is hell, and why is there so much confusion about it? And what hope is there for those who are in hell? So first, let's talk about the condition of the dead. The ancient Hebrews never believed that a person was conscious after death. Let's look at that. If you have your Bibles or tablets, let's look at Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 5. I had this really good slide too, by the way. So I'm going to paint a picture of it. But in Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 5, we're going to see in simple terms the condition of the dead. Ecclesiastes 9:5 says this: "For the living know that they will die." Kind of an obvious. Everyone here knows death is inevitable. But the dead, it says, know nothing at all. Nor do they have any more reward, because all memory of them is forgotten. So that's interesting. It says that the dead know nothing. Look at verse 10 of Ecclesiastes 9. It says, "Whatever your hand finds to do, do with your might. For there is no work, nor planning, nor knowledge, nor wisdom in the brain where you are going." Now, the brain here is translated from the Hebrew word Sheol. And Sheol is also, in other Bible translations, the word here is hell. But notice here, there's no work, no faith, no knowledge, no wisdom. In verse 5, it says that they're conscious of nothing. So, the condition of the dead, what is it? Nothing. They're asleep. Jesus said they were asleep. You are completely unconscious of everything. It's just not a whole lot happening there. So you can't be tormented if you're unconscious. In Genesis, remember the punishment for sin with Adam? Now, Adam was probably the biggest manslayer in history. And we'll go into a little bit later. We inherited sin from him. It's death through sin. He killed everybody in history. Everybody. So what was his punishment? Well, in Genesis 3:19, it says that he was going to return to the dust. Death was his punishment, a ceasing to exist. But some people think, and there is confusion on this matter, yeah, that's the body, right? You know, that body dies. What about the soul? Does the soul die? Well, that's a good question. I'm glad you asked. Let's look at Ezekiel 18:4. Ezekiel 18, verse 4, answers this question in plain, simple terms. This is where the slide goes up. I don't bring you in. So, what's it up? Ah, it sounds pretty, isn't it? I was going to let you use your imagination. I thought it was really good. Ezekiel 18:4, it says this: "Look, all the souls, to me they belong. As the soul of the Father, so also the soul of the Son, to me they belong. The soul who sins is the one who will die. interesting. Some people think the soul continues to live forever, but in plain simple terms, it says that all souls that sin, they die. And Ezekiel 18, it says it again in verse 20. It says, the soul who sins is the one who will die. So, the condition of the dead. We've got 3 scriptures to remember on this topic. Ecclesiastes 9, 5, and 10. That the dead know nothing. They're conscious of nothing. Ezekiel 18, 4. Souls die. The definition of death is the absence of life. Kind of makes sense. But, again, we ask, this term hell. There's so much confusion about it. And it's rightly so. I mean, there's so many different versions of the Bible out there. In fact, in the King James Version, the same word, Sheol, in Hades, which are translated as hell. The word Sheol is translated 31 times as hell in the King James Version. Interestingly, 31 times it's also the same word is translated as grave or pit. So there's confusion right there. Which one is it? Because one has a stigma of being tormented forever. We all know what a grave is. A hole in the ground. The compendious Hebrew lexicon states that Sheol is the common receptacle of the region of the dead. So, hell is simply mankind's common grave. It's not a place of fiery torment. Because Adam sinned, his future offspring, all of us, we all die. Let's look at that scripture at Romans 5, verse 12. Why we die. All his fault. Romans 5:12 says this. That is why, just as through one man, Adam, sin entered into the world, and death through sin. And so death spread to all men, because they had all sinned. That makes sense. We inherited a bad deal. We used to use an illustration of a bread pan. It's got a dent in it, and all bread that comes out of it, it's got a dent. Well, you got a dent. And all of us have got that dent too. We inherited this sin. And we inherited death. Hell, or the grave, it receives everybody, good and bad. And the truth of it, before Christ too, the faithful man Job prayed to go to Sheol. And he knew that Jehovah would store him there, so to speak, and call him back to life later in life, or later down the line. And we're going to talk about that too, the hope for those people in hell. But there are so many cultures that have existed in the world and in history that believe in hellfire. The early evidence of belief in a fiery hell is found in the religions in ancient Egypt. Also ancient Babylon. Assyrian beliefs paint a mythical netherworld that is full of horrors. Dating back to the 6th century BCE, Buddhism has both hot and cold hells. Maybe that's right. And that's not any good. What about the fiery beheaded? Because the Bible does talk about a fiery beheaded. Now, my slide's still up?
No.
It's done? Alright, you know what that's like. Because everything in the Bible has to sync with that basic truth. The Bible has no contradictions. So if the dead is unconscious, the soul dies, everything has to harmonize with that basic truth. So let's look at this point of fiery beheaded and figure out what it is. Let's look at Matthew chapter 5, verse 22. I'm going to feel like I was at a ball game after this. Yell the whole thing. Before that, at lunchtime. Matthew 5:22 says this. However, I say to you that everyone who continues wrathful with his brother will be accountable to the court of justice. And whoever addresses his brother with an unspeakable word of contempt will be accountable to the Supreme Court. Whereas, whoever says you despicable fool will be liable to the fiery Gehenna. Now that sounds like, I don't know, it sounds sort of like hell, the way it's stated. But notice, Gehenna was a place back then. It was just outside of Jerusalem. And it was a refuse. It was a junk. It was a garbage area. And it was kept burning. And so people would go out there and they'd throw their garbage, and you hear that now. And they'd throw their garbage, and it would just burn. They would take the dead bodies of criminals and things like that, and they'd throw them out there, and they would incinerate. Gehenna, to the people that he was speaking to, wasn't a fiery place of torment. It was a fiery place to get rid of all your trash. That's what it was. So, what Jesus was saying is, be in fear of Jehovah, who can get rid of even not only your body. Hey, you got a blue set here. Want me to keep going? I'm on a roll. The light would be good though. I did practice it. I just didn't memorize it.
Oh.
There we go. I'll keep clean. Matthew 10:28. Let's look at that. Matthew 10:28. And tell me if I have to stop yelling. I'm going to break the speakers. And this is where it talks about Gehenna too, but from Jehovah's point of view. It says, and do not become fearful of those who kill the body but cannot kill the soul. Rather, fear him who can destroy both soul and body in Gehenna. So, Jesus here is telling them, don't fear man. I mean, what can they do? They can kill you. But Jehovah, if he destroys you, he can destroy not only your life now, but any future that you may have in a resurrection. And that's what it's saying there. So, really, it's not this place of torment. In fact, in that verse, it doesn't mention torment at all. It says destroy. Or else he would have said, who can torment both soul and body. It didn't say that. It says destroy, so it is a destruction. In the first century, this was well understood. But you may ask, all right, Mike, here's another one. Got another scripture for you. How about fire and brimstone? Now, I was raised Catholic, boy. Those were talks. Fire and brimstone. Yeah, that's in the Bible too. So let's look at Revelation 20, verse 10. Now, brimstone, another way of translating is sulfur. So ours is going to say fire and sulfur. So, Revelation 20, verse 10. And the devil who was misleading them was hurled down into the lake of fire and sulfur, where both the wild beast and the false prophet already were. And they will be tormented day and night forever and ever. There you go. There you go. That's proof. Well, remember the basic truth is that the dead are unconscious, soul's not. So that's a contradiction, you would think. But it's not. Because the lake of fire, and we'll go to a scripture in a second, is actually defined for us. At Revelation 21:8, let's look at that. Revelation 21, verse 8, talks about the lake of fire, and the Bible tells you what it is. But as for the cowards and those without faith and those who are disgusting in their filth and murderers and the sexually immoral and those practicing spiritism and idolaters and all the liars, their portion will be in the lake that burns with fire and sulfur. then it says this. This means the second death. This means the second death, it says. Well, when would you die 2 times? Well, we're going to get into that too. But all those people who died once, they're in the grave, they're unconscious. But there'll be a resurrection in the future. And we're going to talk about that. If they die again, that's it. You need 2 shots at life. It's a second death means it's a final death. There's no coming back from there. So all these people that keep on practicing these, and even Jesus, or even Satan, and death and Hades are thrown into the lake of fire. It is a cease to exist, period, forever. So, since the dead are not conscious, we know that. There's no eternal torment. But you say, Mike, there's one more. I know. I've heard them all. In Luke chapter 16, let's look at that. There is this account of a rich man and Lazarus. Now, in this account, it's a parable. It's a story. And we're going to teach a lesson. In this story, there's a rich man, and according to the story, he didn't do nothing wrong. He was a rich guy. He was eating at the table. Crumbs would fall on this beggar, a real poor guy. His name was Lazarus. He just take whatever crumbs that fell from the table. But when he told this story, he was talking to what the religious leaders considered dirt of a people. And they really looked really down on the common people of those days. But look who was listening. And he knew who was listening. Let's look at Luke 16:14. And there's also a dead giveaway of who the rich man is in this story, in this verse. It says, now the Pharisees, who were money lovers, were listening to all these things, and they began to sneer at him. Money lovers. These are the Pharisees. These are the rich man in the story. He knew they were listening. He probably even heard, in fact, a lot of people probably heard that they were sneering at him. Just sort of in an undertone, sort of making fun of him. And the common people were Lazarus. Now, in this parable, a change happens. They both die. The rich man, he goes down to this place that sounds like hell. It exists in torments, fire, things like that. And then the poor guy, Lazarus, he goes to heaven. He's in the bosom position of Abraham. So a change happens between these two. They switch places, just about. So what does that mean? Is it literal? No. Because one, the rich man didn't do anything wrong. And he wasn't a philanthropist. He didn't feed the poor. But that's not enough, even in common Christendom, to be condemned to hell. And then in that parable, a drop of water was enough to quench his thirst. Well, that ain't going to happen in hell. Not in the common belief. And then the beggar went to the bosom position of Abraham. Well, everybody, all the good people, they didn't fit in the bosom position of Abraham. Too many of them. So there was going to be a change of condition that was going to happen between these two groups. God was going to disown those horrible religious leaders that were in it for themselves and treated everybody like dirt. And he would raise those other individuals that they treated poorly into a position of favor above them. That, in simple terms, is the rich man and Lazarus. So, again, it can't be literal. If you took it literally, it wouldn't make any sense. So, what hope is there for those that have died? A favorite scripture, what we heard yesterday, in fact, you heard a lot of these yesterday, because I think Tom borrowed my outline. But in John 5, verse 28 and 29, is the hope for everybody who is in the grave. It says, do not be amazed at this, for the hour is coming in which all those in the memorial tombs will hear his voice, and they'll come out. Those who do good things to a resurrection of life, those who practice vile things to a resurrection of judgment. All those, both good and bad people, go into the ground. But all of them, in the future, will receive a resurrection. And we are very grateful for this, because it's really not that far in our future, in the stream of time. But what type of place would these individuals get a resurrection to? No, God created the earth. He made a paradise. He put two perfect people in it. Then he told them to spread its boundaries, make the whole earth this way. That was his purpose for the earth. It never changed. It just never changed. The theme of the Bible is how paradise is going to come back to the earth and be restored. One of our favorite scriptures that we share a lot in our ministry is in Revelation 21, verse 4 and 5. And imagine being resurrected in an earth under these conditions. Revelation 21, verse 4 and 5. In verse 3, it says this is with mankind, not with spirit kind. This happens on the earth. In verse 4, it says that he will wipe out every tear from their eyes. Death will be no more. Neither will mourning, nor outcry, nor pain be any more. The former things have passed away. And the one seated on the throne said, "Look, I'm making all things new." Also, he says, "Write, for these words are faithful and true." Imagine the earth a paradise. All of us. No more death, no more sickness. The Bible talks about it constantly, from beginning to end, of a beautiful place in perfect health, living forever, doing and researching anything that we want. And in paradise, even my children know, there will be, and for all of us, I'm sure, one day that is better than all the others. And that's the day we welcome back our loved ones. They sit at the table. My mom can meet my children. Never met them. My children never met my mother. There'll be a day that stands out above all other days. It'll be that day. And you think, how can a perfect day get better? That is how a perfect day gets better. When Jehovah gives us back those that we miss and those that we've loved. Jehovah, he extends this privilege of living in paradise to everybody. He doesn't want to see anybody die. Nobody. We're living what the Bible calls the last days. We really don't have much longer until that paradise comes to us. So, we offer an invitation to everybody. Why do we go door to door? It's because we offer free home Bible study to everybody. It's on their time frame, at their schedule, at their convenience. They can start whenever they want. And it's there's no expectations besides them understanding the Bible. So if you're here today, and I know you probably have more questions about death, because I really rushed through all that history stuff. But those scriptures, Ecclesiastes 9:5 and 10 and Ezekiel 18:4, really, you can share them with anybody. And there you go. You probably didn't know that before, and they probably don't know that. You've educated them. But the Bible talks about that resurrection. All of us are looking forward to it. There's not a person in this room that doesn't want it. There's not a person in our neighborhoods that doesn't want it. So please, take advantage of the free home Bible study. May we all enjoy paradise and welcome back everybody who is in hell.
Thank you very much, Brother Ruffino. We really enjoyed that, and like Brother Russell was accused of using a water hose to turn off the fire in hell, you've done the same today. Excellent. Thank you very much. And now we want to call up Brother Schofield, who will take us into the Watchtower study.